A single family home in northern Kentucky right now is going to cost you about $320,000. At least that's what we're seeing the year-to-date median sales price so far here in 2025. Compare that to 2024 year-to-date, we're up about $50,000. Now, is this an indication of where things are headed in 2025 when it comes to home prices, or is this just a small window with home prices a little bit higher and things are going to taper off throughout the year? Another question is, how come home prices are increasing so much, but overall home sales have actually gone down year over year? Well, let's take a look and talk about this and see what's happening in the Northern Kentucky single family market. Hey everybody, I'm Cameron with the Barron's team, your Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati real estate agents. And in this current real estate climate, it's more important than ever to understand the market that you're interested in and how you can benefit from this information. Whether you're thinking about buying 6 days, 6 months, or 6 years from now, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. I have our contact information on the screen here and even more ways you can reach out to us in the details below. We're always happy to help answer any questions. With that said, let's jump into the video. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it and take a look at some of these numbers and what the market's looking like. So looking at the median row here, you can see the $320,000 sales price that I mentioned at the very beginning of this video. But what does that $320,000 get you? We will take a look at some actual properties on the market, so make sure to stick around to the end if you want an idea of what you can afford in Northern Kentucky. But let's take a look at what that median home is in Northern Kentucky. So it is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Now keep in mind this 3 bathrooms, it's not separating whether it is a full bathroom with like a shower or a bathtub versus a half bathroom, which would just be like a powder room such as a toilet and a sink. So that's 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, about 1,800 square feet. The home was originally listed at just at about $330,000. Then was eventually listed at $325,000 when it actually went under contract, meaning they probably did some sort of a price reduction before getting that sales price of $320,000. So the original, I'm looking at this column right here, the original sale list price to what it finally sold at, the median was 97.32%. Something else that's very interesting for me to look at, and to me this is very important to try to explain when I'm trying to talk to sellers when we're on the market, and to set proper buyer expectations. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a couple different things. These are the homes that sold and then comparing it to their days on market and what they sold for, the list to sales price ratio. So let's start in this first column here, the 0 to 30 days. How many of the listings sold? Well, out of the 405, I believe we're at, 405 total, 253 or just about 62.5% of those properties sold in the first 30 days. So if you're a seller and you're on the market and you're outside of 30 days, you are not, it's not necessarily cause for panic, possibly. We'll show why that may be a reason, but it's not like 99% of homes are selling in the first 30 days. 62.5% are though. So this is a interesting number right here, is the average sales price to original list price. So that means wherever you started at, where did it end at? Well, homes that have been on the market for 30 days or sold from 0 to 30 days, they sold for on average 98.3%. That's pretty good in any market, buyer or seller market. If you're getting 98.3%, it sounds like you're favoring sellers a little bit. Here's where things get interesting. Is 31 to 60 days, that drops down to 93.32%. Then if you get a little, the next 30 days, 91.53%. The next 30 days, 89.54%. And then it kind of stays, seems like it kind of fizzled out around that, about 90% when you're over 3 months on the market. So this is really good to know, because if you're someone that's wanting to just test the waters, well, you can see that there's a lot of price reduction that must have been happening, or they accepted a lower offer. So that just goes to show that if your home's sitting on the market too long, buyers may be perceiving it as, hey, they may be coming down on the price a little bit in order to try to make this work. And I like to say this to buyers all the time when they say, well, I don't want to pay that much for the home. Okay, well, we can still put on an offer if you'd like, but I do want to show you the data. I can't say that this home is going to sell for what they're asking for, but I can tell you that on average in the first 30 days, sellers are getting 98.3%. So that offer coming in 10% lower, don't be surprised if it doesn't get accepted. But with that said, we can keep an eye on this property still, because after the first 30 days, on average, homes are selling for 93.3%. So this is good information that I like to share with my sellers and buyers to see how it affects you, because it does affect each one slightly differently. But it is just good to know that if you're sitting too long on the market, statistically, the numbers are showing it here, you're going to get less for your home. So I think this just goes to show the importance right now. If you're a seller, the importance of pricing right. And if you're a buyer, understanding what's going to be realistic that you can get off that home sale. So let's take a look at some properties that have actually sold around this $320,000 mark. Now I went ahead and set the range from 50,000 lower and 50,000 higher. So we're going to look at 270 to 370 just to give us an idea of what does a $320,000 home look like on the market right now. So let's start off on the lower end of that $320,000 range, or that 270 to 370. We can see right here, we've got a home that sold for $270,000. It's a buy level. You'll notice another buy level right here at the 270. This is a 2-story home selling at 271. What do we have here? Another 2-story home. And you can see, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here, the number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, days on market, what it sold, what the list price was, the sales price. I mean, this one actually went $9,000 over list price. So again, I said 320 is the median. We're on the lower end of the median. We're below it. So that just goes to show you things may be a little more competitive the lower you get below the median. See, this one's 0 days on market, sold for over list price. Let's see if this one keeps that trend. 5 days on market, sold for 100% of list price. Let's go to the complete, I'm going to scroll all the way up here and complete opposite of the spectrum and see if we see the same thing. So as kind of expected, and this may not be the case 100% of the time, but this property sold at 350. So, and we're not even all the way to the highest end of the spectrum, which I'll go to that here in just a second. So we're above the median sales price though, which the point of what I'm trying to get across here is the more you get below the median sales price, things may get a little more competitive. The more you get above the median sales price, things may get less competitive because there's less buyers to compete with. But this one was at 350, listed at 369, sold at 350 in 79 days on market. Let's go to the one right here. This one was listed at 375, sold at 370 for a total of 49 days on the market. We have another one here, sold for just about 5,000 under 3 days on market. It's a ranch home. So again, you can, if you want to pause at any point and take a look at this information, I'm just trying to squeeze in as much as we can here. I know it's like, hey Cameron, I don't have time to look at these properties. Just pause it, take a look. You can read the information here, get the property details. Also, if you see any properties that you like, I know these are sold, but styles of properties, if you're like, hey, can you send me over a list of 1-story ranch style homes or 2-story homes or 4 bedrooms or this city, that city, whatever it is. I have our contact information, email, and phone number on the screen here. Reach out and just tell us what city you want a list of, or county, or the whole area. It could be price range, whatever. We'll get that over to you. But looking at a few more here, here's another one at 360. So this one, again, I'm eating my words a little bit here. It looks like we're still can be competitive. It's probably depending on the home. If it's newer, this one's only built in 2021, sold in 7 days. 5,000 over list, so it's probably in relatively good condition if I had to guess. Yeah, looks like it from the pictures. You've got granite countertops, nice cabinets. So this also just goes to prove whether if you're a seller looking at it, if you're priced good and in move-in ready condition, your home's selling quickly and you're probably getting the top dollar for the home. Now that means if you're a buyer and looking at this, if you're looking at something that's in good condition and you think you would look at it with your real estate agent, pull some numbers and it's priced right, you might want to look at it and go pretty serious and not come in necessarily trying to lowball it if it's a home you want, because we're seeing that they're selling for pretty close to list prices. Another one, I believe this is going to be new construction. Yep, this is a new build home, so days on the market, you take that with a grain of salt, but you can get, again, this is a new construction home. Now, It's getting harder and harder to get a new construction home for under $400,000, but there may be some options out there in the single family world. Maybe if you're ready to get, if you're okay with not having a basement, being on a slab, or if you're okay with condos, which I know this video is about single family homes, not condos, but it is something to consider. But as you can see with a lot of these on the left-hand side here, you could tell these are existing homes, not brand new homes. A couple of them here. As I keep scrolling, you'll see a few, but it is harder and harder to get a new construction home under $400,000 in Northern Kentucky, but that doesn't mean options are 100% eliminated, so reach out to us also if you want a list of new construction homes. So what can we take away from this information? Well, if you're a buyer, what we can take away is if homes are recently on the market and it is about the median sales price of $320,000 or below, there may not be that much wiggle room. You may even get multiple offers, so you want to come in as a strong buyer, make sure you're pre-approved, make sure you've got everything in line, meet with your real estate agent before getting out and looking at homes so you're better prepared, because we know if homes on the market for less than 30 days, it's selling pretty close to list price. But if you're trying to find a home and get somewhat of a discount on it, well, maybe you want to take a look and see a home that's been on the market longer than 30 days. Again, keep in mind, it might not be as move-in ready. It might need a little bit of elbow grease to get it the way you want it. And then if you're a seller, price right. I don't really want to leave any other message besides that. It's really important to price right now. If you look at the information I showed you with the days on market and list to sales price ratio that you're getting, it's more important than ever. The longer that you're sitting on the market, you may be costing yourself 10%. And now, yes, you came down on price and you were probably overpriced anyway, so maybe that full 10% wasn't something you would have gotten anyway, but you're probably costing yourself a little bit of money by starting too high and having to reduce. Whether if you just started out right at the right price point, you may not have had to deal with all that and buyers trying to haggle you. So I hope you found this information helpful. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below or reach out to us directly. I have our contact information on the screen here and in the details below. And as always, whether you're thinking about your next real estate move in 6 days, 6 months, or 6 years from now, the Barron's team is here to be your trusted real estate resource for the Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati area. And we look forward to talking to you soon.